the chemistry between Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis behind the scenes of the movie. While the duo had some memorable moments on screen, they also had some tension off-screen. Last year, Stallone criticized Willis on Twitter, leading to speculation about the truth. Now, Stallone has finally come clean, responding to outside speculation and revealing the truth about the relationship between the two characters. Things got even worse when Stallone labeled Willis greedy and lazy on Twitter. Sylvester Stallone was born in Hell's Kitchen, New York. He suffered a partial paralysis of his face at birth, due to a nerve injury that left him with drooping lips, partial facial paralysis, and a lisp. His early years were rough. His parents divorced when he was 11, which made him an easy target to be bullied and ridiculed for his intelligence. At 19, Stallone was struggling and failing in school, but he enrolled at the American College of Switzerland in September 1965. While in college, Stallone developed an interest in acting and worked odd jobs such as a gym teacher, hotel cleaner, and burger vendor. His performance in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman came to the attention of a Harvard professor, who encouraged him to take up acting. By June 1967, Stallone had discovered his vocation in life and headed back to the United States, where he was eventually able to gain admission to the University of Miami, studying drama. His success in Hollywood began in the early 1970s with hardship and disappointment. Homeless and without anywhere to go, he spent 3 weeks sleeping in a ferry terminal before being kicked out and was left with only $16 in his bank account. He was making $112 an hour as a cameraman and lion cage cleaner at the Central Park Zoo. Despite rejection after rejection, Stallone refused to give up and was continually in consideration. In 1970, he shot a low-budget nude film, The Party at Kitty and Studs, earning $200 in 2 days. In the film, Stallone plays an actor involved in a crazy race that turns into a mysterious event. After his poor performance, Stallone began playing small roles in mainstream films, but his life changed when he watched a heavyweight match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. This fight inspired Stallone, who viewed Wepner as a good example of life in his decision, and it served as the basis for Rocky Balboa, a role which would change Stallone's life forever. In 1976, John Stallone wrote the first script for Rocky, which later on would become one of the most successful films in the history of cinema. Having only $16 in his bank account, Stallone believed in his vision and took the chance to star in the film. The producers offered him $350,000, but Stallone refused to sell the script unless he was cast as Rocky Balboa. Producers Irving Winkler and Robert Chartoff decided to cast Stallone, but the budget was cut to just $1 million, and Stallone earned only $35,000 for writing and acting. It changed the history of Hollywood. Filming was done in just 28 days, and many moments like the one where Rocky and Adrian jump together because they cannot afford the extra ice were born out of need. Rocky, released on December 3, 1976, was a massive box office hit, grossing $225 million worldwide and became the highest-grossing film of all time. Critics raved about the movie because of its sincerity and raw emotion. Rocky's success climaxed into 10 Oscar nominations at the 49th Academy Awards on March 28, 1977, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Director. The franchise developed to include 6 direct continuations to the Creed series, with 2 spin-offs, namely Rocky II, released in 1979, and Rocky III, released in 1982. Both of these added an increased level of tension and work to the movies of the franchise. Rocky IV, released in 1985, became the highest-grossing film in the series, with a worldwide gross of $300 million. The series then floundered with Rocky V in 1990, which focused on Rocky's financial troubles and his training of young boxers, but did not fare well with audiences. Throughout his career, Stallone has seen incredible highs and challenges, along with risk, reinvention, and an unwavering determination to succeed. One of his most famous roles, John Rambo in Rambo, almost didn't happen because he wasn't close to the first choice. After Rambo, Stallone continued to challenge himself with films like Cliffhanger, 1993, Demolition Man, and Copeland. The humor-laced film grossed $159 million at the box office, making him an international star. However, the 1990s and early 2000s were tough times for Stallone. Films like The Judge, Get Carter, and Drive failed to catch on with audiences. Most of these films were flops, and Stone retired from acting for several years during this time. Despite these problems, Stallone returned in 2006 with Rocky Balboa, which he wrote, directed, and starred in. The movie grossed $155 million worldwide and received phenomenal fan appreciation. Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis started being friends back in the 1980s. Their friendship intensified in the year 1991 as he collaborated with Arnold Schwarzenegger to develop Planet Hollywood, a restaurant dedicated to the glamour of Hollywood. The business venture strengthened their off-screen relationship and hinted at future collaborations that began with Willis's brief role in Stallone's Copeland in 1996. The film is intended to be paid for in a Suicide Squad series. Willis stars as Mr. Church, a mysterious CIA agent who hires Stallone's team for a dangerous job. It had turned an international hit, collecting $315 million at the box office. Critics lauded the lead roles of both Willis and Schwarzenegger. Things took a worse turn in 2013 with the prequel to The Expendables 3. Willis was offered $3 million for a 4-day shoot in Bulgaria, but countered by demanding $4 million or $1 million a day. This requirement caused friction, not least because the movie had already invested around $100 million, compared to the previous film. Stallone and the producers decided to give Willis 72 hours to accept the offer. After he refused, they opted to replace him. On August 6, 2013, the story was surprisingly brought to the public. Stallone tweeted inaccurately, "Willis out, Harrison Ford in, this is good news. I've been waiting for this for years." A few minutes later, he sent a far more significant message: greed and laziness are the main causes of failure. Although Stallone didn't name Willis directly, the implication was clear. The tweets went viral with thousands of retweets in under an hour, and the incident became one of the biggest Hollywood controversies of the year. A source close to the production said he was surprised by how quickly Willis was replaced by Harrison Ford. Stallone surprised fans by publicly apologizing in an interview, expressing regret for his harsh words and praising Willis as a great actor. Stallone marked the reconciliation by posting a photo of himself with Willis on Instagram on September 17, 2019, with a caption, "Reconciling with stand-up Bruce. I'm bad." On March 30, 2022, the family of Bruce Willis announced his retirement from acting owing to his diagnosis of aphasia, a cognitive disorder affecting a person's communication. Leaving a void in Hollywood, it became clearer that the actor was a multifaceted and celebrated actor. Stallone's grief showed the long-lasting bond between the two stars and reminded people that there are bonds which remain intact beyond fame and differences in the past. So for the next update, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.